Hi guys. Today's topic is very sensitive, and I'm going to be very careful in how I talk about this. So sorry for the long break. This is generally before I talk about this, I generally try and I write notes, so I'm just go through them a little bit so I know what I'm talking about. But this topic is quite sensitive to me, so I'm just speaking straight from my heart and how it's basically in my head, from my head to your ears, or my mouth to your ears. So the topic I want to talk about today is: can you be homosexual for the most part and be an effective um, Christian, or can the two mesh? So that's the topic I'm going to talk about today. And if you follow me in this channel, I generally use spiritual analogy or physical analogies to explain spiritual realities. So let's just get right into the topic. So I'm going to start with this. I was born asthmatic. I said this in my previous videos. Started off asthmatic from like the first 5 6 years of my life. I was always in the hospital. In fact, I had a room that everybody just knew. Okay, once I come, okay, that's his room. That's basically how bad my health was with asthma. Everything triggered it. You know, cobwebs, running, cold. It was a lot of things. My first beginning phase of life was not fun at all. It was quite miserable because of my asthma. And I loved sports. I love sports so much. I just love football, but I couldn't play. And I bought into this idea of, oh, my mom said, oh, please don't do this, don't do that. I know your mom's just trying to be protective and. And then because of that, whenever I move or I go to a school, I was actually one of the few students that they restricted from participating in sports. I couldn't participate because of my health. That's what they basically told me. So, and then I noticed that it's not like my health improved anyway. I was still falling ill just as frequent, and it didn't really make any much of a difference. But I noticed something happened. There was a switch. I switched schools and I went to, let me just say, more rugged school for like a year or two. And there, even though yeah, she said don't do this, they didn't care. They let me play sports or let me play football. I played, and let me not lie to you, the first time I played, I had an asthmatic attack. I had to take my inhaler, I had to take all those, everything. I had it. But I didn't stop because obviously nobody was supervising us that much and everything. And I loved the sport, so I continued. And over time, I realized that while the asthma didn't go completely, my the frequency at which it was coming reduced by let me say about 30-40%. It was amazing. Totally changed my life. So by the fact that doing the very thing that my mom didn't want me to do, that was what improved my life. That was what saved me and gave me the strength to built my lung capacity to be able to even hold on. You hear cases of people that, oh, they had asthma attack and they couldn't even reach the inhaler. Let's say it was like maybe 3 feet away from them. That deep, bad, their lung capacity. But I don't know. I can't say I'm not in their case, but I know that me playing that sport saved me because it built my lungs to the point where, okay, I'm having an attack, I can still hold myself to get to the hospital, or things that I couldn't generally do before just from playing simple football. Now, what am I saying, or how am I trying to relate this to the spiritual side of things? I grew up where my parents both worked, and they left us with helps, nannies. And to cut the long story short, I was abused by both male and female nannies. Now this messed my head up with, so I've always had a very weird orientation with sex. Because of that, a lot of it that Holy Spirit has been helping me walk through. But I've always had a very weird orientation with sex. So before I started taking Christianity serious, I realized I started having this curiosity towards my same sex, and it was weird to me because even though I was molested as a kid, it never came up, or it wasn't something that had a hold on me until much, much later. And I was very weirded out by this fact that why am I all of a sudden having a curiosity about men and everything? So this obviously bothered me. And coincidentally, at the same period this started happening, I was taking my walk with God seriously, you know, um, trying to anyway. And I realized that when I started to try to take the walk with God seriously, the feelings intensified. Didn't reduce, it intensified. It made me very super cautious around men, especially because I didn't like the way what was going on. But I knew at that point, I just put aside my personal problems and I said, okay, let me just focus on the fact that I actually want to know about this God and what is going on. And I did that. And while the feelings, yes, it was a trigger at first, eventually, over time, you know, I got that feelings reduced to then faded into the background. Something that was very prominent. So I can say confidently that yes, um, following God helped me with that aspect of my life. And I'm living proof that yeah, you can. Those feelings were there, but for the fact that I was following God consistently and strong, it helped me quell those um, feelings. So now, am I saying that if all you have to do is just pray and follow God and all the homosexual feelings would go away? I don't know. I don't think so. But then what I'm saying is it would definitely help you in managing those emotions. You know. So while like in the physical sense, playing football and running and all those things, it didn't quell my asthma. It didn't stop it completely. It took the hand of God to do that completely. But it definitely helped me manage the situation. I was having the frequency at which I was having attacks reduced from the mere fact that I was just playing football. The same way, the same thing can apply to this, you know. And I'm saying this now because, at the time I came in with this mindset of, oh, how can there's this doctrine out there that once you are, or once you have these tendencies or you have these feelings, you are a reprobate. Because I don't know if you've ever looked at the Bible. I think in Romans, just read the church chapters of Romans, like Romans 1 maybe 20 or something, where it says, oh, for this feeling God gave them up to a reprobate mind to do that which was unclean, and men replacing the normalcy, just explaining how basically people use that to explain, oh, this is how somebody becomes gay. But with knowledge and everything, you realize that, man, this is an imperfect world. People are born with different issues and deficiencies, and it doesn't make you any less um of a person, or it doesn't make you any less of a Christian because of you have these tendencies, right? As a person that has had those feelings, I mean, I've given people strong word of knowledge and it was correct. Even though I wasn't confident at first, it was correct. Prophesy for people, I haven't prayed for the sick for them to be healed yet, but then at least the words and a prophecy, and it has happened. I've seen it happen in my life. I've seen it happen in the people's lives. So please don't ever let anybody limit you and tell you that God can't, you can't, you are condemned because of you have these feelings. Now, I don't think so. But I definitely know that following God can help you manage those feelings. That's as best as I can, or my own knowledge on the subject. I just wanted to if you like this content, please like, share, subscribe, guys. You guys are, I love you guys. Everybody has been watching my videos consistently. I really appreciate it. If you have other people that maybe this content might be useful to them, help me share to them, let them watch. Yeah. And you guys comment, give me feedback. I love you guys.